training. So this is Genius Solu, also known as the Masked Freelancer. In this training, I'm going to take you through the business of domain investment. So I've been a domain investor for the past 5 years, and like I say, I'm an expert as far as domain investment is concerned in Nigeria, with thousands of sales, millions of naira acquired, and I have trained people that have made millions in this business. All right. So I rate myself as the #1 coach of domain investment in Nigeria. All right. So in this training, I'm going to take you through the business of domain investment. So let's go into it ASAP. All right. This is one of the easiest, or let me say one of the simplest way. I won't call it easiest. Nothing is easy, but this is one of the simplest way that one can use to make money in Nigeria, like the less complex. Because when we look at other online businesses, we talk about, it involves so many things. All right. For example, now when we talk about e-commerce involves so many things. You know how to run ad on different channels, on different social media, Facebook, Instagram. You look about forex trading. You learn a lot of things, how to analyze market, all these things. So, but when it comes to domain investment, it is quite simple, because it deals with just buying and selling domain names. So domain investment deals with buying and selling domain names, as simple as that. So all you have to know is, how do you find a domain that is worth, that somebody can pay a lot of money for to buy? You understand? So the main knowledge required in this business is that, what quality do you need to know? Do you need to see in a domain? Now you know that, okay, this domain is something another person can pay a lot of money for. That you can, a domain that you can register for like $10, and somebody will pay $1,000, $500 for it. So it is as simple as that. It doesn't require you running Facebook ad, posting on social media, creating content, chatting with somebody on WhatsApp. You know, the system is quite simple, not complex. All right. So let's go into it. All right. So welcome. If you can't see my screen very well, all right, if you can't see my screen very well, so just tap on the screen of this video. Just tap on your screen. You are going to see a settings icon at the top right corner here, a settings icon. So click on that settings icon. So when you click on that settings icon, you are going to move to this step 2. So on the step 2, you are going to see video quality. So set the quality from 240p or whatever it is to 720p. And choose high picture quality. After that, your video quality is going to increase. So maybe it looks blur, you can't see it very well. Once you follow these 3 steps, all right, the video quality is going to increase. The video quality is going to improve. Step 1, click on the settings icon. Step 2, choose quality, so 720p, then choose high quality picture. All right, so let's proceed. So what exactly are you going to learn in this training? First of all, this training is for anybody that wants to make money online. All right, if you have tried so many things online and it doesn't work for you, and you want to try something that is real, something that is working, something that has result, all right, something that is simple, something that you can understand, then it is exactly for you. Something that can make you a lot of money. Like, domain investment gives bulk money. When you sell a domain, bro, you are rich. All right, so what exactly are you going to learn in this training? I'm going to walk you step by step through, number 1, what domain investment really is. You're going to learn what is domain investment. All right, we call it domain investment, we call it domain flipping, we call it domaining. Any of the 3, it means the same thing, which is investing in domain name. Like you invest in real estate. When you invest in real estate, you can buy a land, you can buy a property, all right, then you sell it or rent it out. Same thing applies to domain name. You can buy a domain and rent it out, or you can buy a domain and flip it. All right, then we're going to talk about the massive opportunities hidden in this business. Then after that, we move to how to find valuable domain, which is the main lesson of the training. How to find valuable domain. Don't forget what I said. I said the main thing in domain investment is how to find a valuable domain name. So we're going to talk about that. If I'm talking too fast, just follow the settings that I mentioned earlier, the settings. So just set, let me go back to that. So when you click on settings, you are going to see playback speed. All right, so you can set it to ×1, all right, to slow the pace of the video, all right. So I said number 2, we are going to learn how to find valuable domain names that people are willing to pay a huge amount of money for. Then number 3, sorry, this is my trademark, MaskedFreelancer. All right, so number 3, we move to how to sell your domain names through trusted domain marketplaces. We're going to talk about how do we sell our domain through trusted domain marketplaces. The reason why we use domain marketplaces is that as a Nigerian, we don't have a good image as far as internet is concerned. Nigerians don't have good image. As a Nigerian, when you are trying to deal with foreigners, they see us as scammers. All right, they see all of us as Yahoo guys, as scammers. All right, so for us to avoid any kind of stigmatization like this, that is where all these domain marketplaces comes in. So domain marketplaces are the ones that when we register our domain, we don't have to use VPN, nothing like VPN. When you register your domain with your Nigerian details, all right, and you, after registering it, now you want to sell it or you want to rent it out, you are going to take it to these marketplaces. These marketplaces they are open to everybody across the world. Either you are an Indian, you are an African, you are Afghanistan, you are Arab, whatever. You can come to these marketplaces and list your domain for sale. All right. So when you list your domain for sale, nobody's going to see your identity. The marketplace is going to be the one that they are showing their own identity. And 90% of these marketplaces are American companies. They are American companies. All right. So when anybody comes to buy the domain, they're not going to see your identity. They're going to see the identity of the marketplace. Okay, this company is an American company. All right. And 70% of people that buy domain names, they are from America. Then we have some in Australia, UK, and some other foreign countries like that. Let me say 0.001% in Nigeria. All right. For example, seller.co, all the seller marketplace, affiliate platform, they bought seller.com for $50,000. So those are one of the fintech companies that have spent a lot of money on domain names. All right. So like I said, the marketplaces is just like an escrow intermediary to protect us, the seller. All right, so that our identity will not be seen. Then to protect the buyer so that they will not be scammed. All right. So, and when they receive the payment, we give them domain, they give us our money. As simple as that. No story. All right. Then after that, we move to how to safely transfer your domain to a buyer. Like I said, we give the marketplace the domain, the marketplace gives it to the buyer. So the marketplace is going to undo everything about the transfer. They're going to guide us on how to transfer to them, and they're going to guide the buyer on how to receive the domain in case they don't know how to undo it. All right. Now, finally, I will show you how to get started the right way so you can attain success as soon as possible from day one. All right. And I'm going to answer all possible questions you probably have in mind. Like some people do ask that, when am I going to sell the domain if I buy it? All these questions have been answered on our first page, and I'm going to show you that as we proceed further in this video training. All right. So by the end of this training, you have a clear roadmap of how this business works and how you can start making money from domain investment. Like I said, if I'm talking too fast, I just don't want this video to be too long. So if I'm talking too fast, you can go to the settings, tap on the screen of your video, just tap on it. When you tap on it, you're going to see settings icon at the top right. Click on it and then set your playback speed to maybe ×1 or ×1.5 to slow the pace of the video. All right. So next, like I said we are going to be talking about what is domain investment. All right. What is domain investment? So like I said, domain investment is just before we proceed further, this is Mr. Kingsley. So this is Mr. Kingsley. Mr. Kingsley got access to my free video training like this. I swear to God, he got access to my free video training like this. So Mr. Kingsley got access to my free video training. Watching just my free video training, he got inventionai.com. Like just watching this my free video training. Not this exactly, my previous free video training that I recorded in 2025. Every year I record a new video training. All right. So the one I recorded in 2025, Mr. Kingsley watched it in 2025. When you watch it, then he listed inventionai.com on Afternic. Right? That was, I think he said November or September 2025. Then you can read the story. He said after listing it, He said he saw my ad on Facebook, he clicked on it, he watched my video. Then from that video, I came up with a domain name called Invention AI. I went to Afternic Places for say that last September, right? September. Then suddenly this month of March, that's March 2026, he said he sold the domain for $1,500 on Afternic. He said he had to watch my free video. He said he had to watch my videos on my YouTube channel. So this is my YouTube channel, TheMaskedFreelancer. youtube.com/@geniusoli, youtube.com/@genius. If it's not this channel, then that means this video has been pirated. This video has been duplicated. youtube.com/@geniusoli. So if you check my channel, you're going to see different free video trainings on how to receive your payment from Afternic and as much as possible. All right, so he watched my video training and he eventually sold the domain for $1,500. You can see right here, he sold it for $1,500 and he received this payment into his gray account. All right, so let's proceed. So that shows that if you take this video training, you can derive as much value as possible from it and even make money from it, God willing. All right, so now I said, what are domain names, which is the main topic of this training. What are domain names? Domain names are web addresses. Come on, domain names are web addresses. So when we talk about web addresses, we are talking about like facebook.com. Let me show you a practical aspect of what domain names exactly mean. All right, don't let us do theory, let's go to practical aspect. All right, so this is my Google Chrome. You can as well go to your own Google Chrome, and I believe you have a jotter that you're using to jot down this training. Don't forget, I said if I'm talking too fast, you can tap on your YouTube video screen, or maybe you are watching it on your browser. So tap on the screen, click on the setting, set your playback speed to times 1 or times 1.5 to slow the pace of this video so that you can hear me clearly. All right, so I said, what are domain names? For people that don't know what domain names are, I said domain names are web addresses. Then what are web addresses? All right, so anytime you see something like this, I love my mom.com. So this is a domain name. All right, this is a domain name. So this is a domain name. All right, so domain names are just a combination of two things. So domain names are a combination of two things. Number one is the domain keyword, and number two is the domain extension. Domain keyword and the domain extension. All right, so the domain keyword and domain extension, both of them, they are separated by a dot. You can see the dot here. All right, the dot. Now the one that comes before the dot is called the domain keyword. So the one that comes before the dot is called the domain keyword. The one that comes after the dot is called the domain extension. I believe you are jotting down. So the one that comes before the dot, that's I love my mom, that comes before the dot is the domain keyword. The one that comes after the dot, which is com, C-O-M, that one is the domain extension. All right, what if I say I love my mom.ng? It is still a domain name. It is still a domain name. The one that comes before the dot is the domain keyword, which is I love my mom is the domain keyword. Then the ng is the domain extension. So we have many extensions like that. But the only extension that you can sell, you can't sell .ng. Maybe in the future. All right, because domain names are like real estate. For example, now if you go and buy a land inside a bush, and you want to sell it, nobody will buy it from you. But maybe after like 20 years now, if the development reach that area and it becomes developed, all right, it becomes developed, people are now living there, it will become sellable at that time. So then same thing applies to domain. All right, so if you buy it now, you can hold it for like some years, and people started using .ng very well everywhere in the world, because even .ai that is selling now, .ai, it belongs to a country. Although I don't know the exact country, but I know it belongs to, even .io belongs to a country. It's a country code. All right, and I believe .com self perhaps maybe it's a country code or just for general use. But the king of all the saying that you should spend your money on is .com. .com is what you should spend if you want to make money as a newbie. You are getting started. Focus on .com. All right, Focus on. You can see that the invention AI that Mr. Kingsley sold is .com, inventionai.com. All right, so focus on .com. That is the king. It is called the king of all extensions, the king of all. So this is a domain name. Now, what if they add www dot to it? It doesn't change anything. The domain keyword remains I love my mom. Then the extension remains the com. All right, the www dot is just a protocol. World Wide Web, just a protocol. If you add it, if you don't add it, there's no problem. But you cannot register www.ilovemymom.com if you want to register a domain name that you want to sell. You cannot register www.ilovemymom.com because if you do that, they're going to help you. The registrar, the place where we register a domain, all right. Domain names are like CAC. If you don't register your CAC, your business, it is not functional. Another person will take it from you. All right. Same thing applies to domain. If you say, okay, I want this domain, but you don't register it, another person that needs it, that understand how it works, will register it and we sell it. Even if you sell it, they will not give you money. All right. So another person that understand how it works will register it and sell it and collect the money. So just like in CAC, you have to register your business for it to be functional. So you have to register your domain. So the place where we register domain names are called domain registrars. Domain registrars. All right. So if you want to register www.ilovemymom.com, the registrar is going to remove this dot. That means your domain keyword is now www.ilovemymom.com, which does not make sense. All right. So if you want to register your domain, it has to be only the domain keyword and the extension ilovemymom.com. Don't put www. Don't put https. This is a domain name. This is exactly how a domain name looks like. It can be anything. Your domain keyword can be anything. It can be my father, my mother. So this is a domain keyword. All right. Now, don't forget, we are still going to move to how to find a valuable domain. How do you know if a domain is valuable that you can sell? All the power. Don't forget, we have talked about extension. We said the best is .com. That means we know the kind of extension that you want. .com. Now, what about the domain keyword? That is where the real work is. All right. That is where if you want to register a valuable domain name, your keyword must be powerful. So we are not yet at that. We are still going to get to how to find value. That's the item number 2. So we have talked about domain. What domain names are now. So this is a domain name. So, and the popular domain name that we have is what? Is google.com. This is a domain. This is popular. Google.com. You can see that. What if there's no google.com? That means there's no domain name. That means internet is handicapped. So domain names, they are an integral part of internet that makes internet function. That is why they are valuable. That's why we can able to make money from them. That means as long as there is internet, we are going to keep making money from domain name. This business is not going to crash unless the internet crashes. All right. So that is the uniqueness and the good news about this business. All right. So we also have Instagram.com. Then we have FB.com. Everybody knows. I have seen many people make videos on domain investment. Many people copy my videos on domain investment. Solely. All right. So you all know that FB.com was acquired by Zuckerberg in 2010 for $8 million, and in 2022 he also bought Meta.com for $64 million. That shows that there's money in this industry. Imagine you are the one that registered this domain maybe 50 years ago, when nobody think that something like this is valuable. All right, so that is the value, or like just compared to real estate. You own a property, in the future it becomes developed, and that you make money from it. So domain names are like you buy a land. In your left side, there's no land there. Right side, no land. Front, no land. Back, no land. All right. There may be 1 year, 2 years, 3 years after, somebody bought the land beside you. The one at your left, the one at the front, the one at the back. You're the only one. You're the only one that have a free land that is not developed, and you want to sell it. You're going to charge a higher amount. Same thing applies to domain. All right. So just use your brain like that to derive exactly what I'm saying in that point. All right. So that is domain investment. Now, we now said what is domaining. We said what is domaining? We said domaining is the act of buying and selling domain names. Domaining is the act of buying and selling domain names. So that means I have explained what domain names are now. Now, the buying of this domain, you find a domain like that, you register it, you now sell it. So that buying and selling is called domain investment, it's called domain flipping, and it's called domaining. Although some big boys domain investment, they have differentiated it. They said if you are buying domain, like most Nigerians do, like I do, like I even teach people to do, because we need quick money. If you buy domain with the hope that you want to sell it for like $600, $400, $300, all right, $300, $200, $900, $800, they say that one is domain flipping. You're trying to sell that domain as soon as possible. You're not trying to wait for the person that can pay huge amount. All right, you're not waiting for the person that understands the value of that domain, that can pay you a life-changing money. They said that one is domain flipping. They said domain investment is when you invest in a domain. You register a domain, you know that this domain was like $10,000, and you're able to wait for it. You wait for that person that is ready to pay that amount, even if it will take you 10 years. For example, somebody sold Pharmacist on Demand in 2020. That was when I started domain investment. 2021. The person held it for 8 years. He has received $300 offer, of different offers, but he decided to say, no, I'm not going to take this amount. This domain was more. So eventually he sold it in 2020 for $10,000. And there are many cases like that. And I also have domain names that, as I'm flipping the ones of $200, $300, $400, I also have the ones that I'm waiting for a life-changing amount, $50,000. $10,000 for. All right, so that is exactly. So as you are doing, my own advice is that as you are doing domain flipping, you're also doing domain investment. You also have domain names that you are holding for that person that's going to give you the life-changing money. So that is domaining, buying and selling. And I said the place where we register domain, like I've said, is called domain registrars, and where we sell it, they're called domain marketplaces. Then I gave example of domain registrar like pogbond.com, afternic.com. All right, so let me take you briefly through pogbond.com, which is the domain registrar where we register a domain. All right, before you register a domain, it has to be a domain that is available, an available domain. All right, it's not to be an available domain. So the registrar is going to tell you if it is available or not. So one of the places whereby one of the registrars, like I said, I mentioned pogbond.com. All right, they also have spaceship.com. Now let me show you spaceship.com. So this is spaceship.com. So this is a registrar. This is a domain registrar. And this particular registrar, they also have a marketplace. They just created their own marketplace as well. So this is spaceship.com. All right. So this is spaceship.com, and you can see they say search for a domain name. Search for a domain name. So let's say I want to search for I love my mom.com. So I'm going to click on, you can see the way I write it. So there's no www, no https. This is exactly how the domain name should be. Then you click on the search button. You can see it's not even available. Registered in 2005. Registered in 2005. So it's not available. Now let's look for I love my mommy. So automatically they are searching it. So I love my mommy is available. You can see it's available. It's available, and they are charging $8.88 for domain registration. $8.88 for domain registration. There are promo code that one can use to lower the price of the domain. And if you want to register this exact domain on another marketplace, it can be cheaper. All right, that is why we find cheaper registrar. We can register our domain anywhere. So that is why you find where that is cheaper to register our domain. If you go to namebright.com, let's copy this one. Then you go to Namebright. Namebright is another registrar where we register a domain, where you bring a domain to life. That is where you bring a domain to life. Like documentation, where you make documentation that, okay, I own this domain. That is what domain registrars stand for. All right, so they say it's available. You can see it's lower, 7.88. That's $1 lesser, $1 lesser. So this is domain registrar, where you register your domain and you bring it to life. And you can use your Nigeria MasterCard. You can see if I add this one to cart, I click on view cart. You can see if I click on proceed to checkout. So you can use your Nigeria MasterCard. I think Visa card also works. So they want me to create an account, so I don't need that. So that is how to register a domain. So once you put your information, they ask you to select your credit card, to put your credit card details. So you can use your Nigeria MasterCard or Visa card. I have not used Visa card before, I won't lie. So I know about MasterCard, GT Bank, Access Bank, whatever. MasterCard works. Or if you can get a virtual card, OPay card, OPay. No, when you're talking about banks, don't be mentioning OPay, Money Point. Don't be mentioning Papa and Pay. You're talking about banks. All right, Visa or MasterCard of banks. All right, in Nigeria. All right, so that is that. So that is that about domain registrar. Now we're going to talk about domain marketplaces. So domain marketplaces is where we sell our domain. I've explained them earlier. I said they are like intermediary. They protect us, the buyer, the seller, especially us that are from Nigeria and our image has been spoiled online. Americans or foreigners see us as scammers. So they protect us. They help us protect our identity. All right, so nobody knows our identity. We just list our domain for sale. Then the marketplace will be representing us. So they also protect the seller so that they don't get scammed. So they protect both of us so that we don't get scammed, because seller can also scam buyer. I mean, buyer can also scam seller. So they protect all the parties. So they're the intermediary, and they are very, very legit, because the one that I use, which is Afternic, owned by GoDaddy, they have been existing since domain names came to life in 1995. All right, so they have a strong reputation. So there's no issue with all these platforms, and there's no need for VPN or anything. They are open to all the countries in the world. All right, so now let's go to the most popular marketplace, which is Afternic.com. Afternic.com. There are many marketplaces, but this is the one that I do recommend, because they are widely trusted. Like I said, they have been existing since 1995, so that shows that if you're looking to make your first sale as a domain investor, this is the marketplace that you should focus on. All right, so let's click on start selling. All right, they say sign up. So if you don't have an account, you can just sign up. But me, I have an account, so I'm just going to log into my account straight up. So I'm going to click on sign in instead of creating. If you don't have an account, just create an account, straightforward, like you're creating a Facebook account, straightforward. All right. So if you're creating your account and they say something like what's it called, Latin word or something, so what they are trying to tell you that don't use anything like maybe dot or like sign, just pure alphabet. Just put alphabet. All right. So this is my dashboard. So this is exactly after, and this is the marketplace. All right, and if you have a domain you want to list your domain, just come to the menu. So just come to the menu right here at the top right. You can see the menu right here. So click on the menu, then click on portfolio, then click on add domain. All right, so add domain. So let's say we want to list our I love my mommy.com. So don't forget these steps. I'm still going to reference these steps as we proceed. I love my mommy.com. So when you list it, you click on submit. You click on continue to all domains. So I said you click on continue to all domains. So when you click on continue to all domains, there is a step that is missing. So when you click on continue to all domains, you're going to see the domain. All right. You're going to see the domain. This is not what you're going to see. You're going to see the domain. So when you see the domain, just tap on the domain. When you tap on the domain, it's going to take you here. All right, it's going to take you. So this is where you can put your price, how much you want to sell the domain. So this is where you can put your price. All right. So if you click on edit, all right, you're going to see the pricing. So this is their estimated value. So this value does not mean that this is exactly the value of the domain. All right, it can be higher, it can be lower. So they just give you their own AI suggestion. All right. So you can put your buy now that, okay, I want to sell this domain for $399. All right. The minimum offer, okay, I want to consider only offer above 200 or equal to 200. All right. Then you click on save changes. Save changes. So click on save changes. So that is that about that. I think the reason why it says something went wrong is that you have not registered the domain. You have not registered the domain. All right, so they're going to see different similar sales that got sold. Honor my mom sold for $1,299. For my people, sold for $800. So that is that about how to list your domain for sale on the marketplace. All right, on the marketplace. All right, so that is that about marketplaces. Now let me use that opportunity to jump the gun. So let me use the opportunity to talk about what happens when you sell your domain. What happens when you sell your domain. And how do you get paid? All right, how do you get paid? So let's assume we sell this domain now. All right, you are going to find it here under sales and go to sold. All right, and go to sold. So you're going to find it here. So let's say this is the domain that you sold. You're going to see all this information starting from here. Good news, we have received the payment from the buyer. All right, so they're going to send you the steps. You can see to proceed with the transfer, unlock the domain. So they're going to send you the steps, what you should do. Then you can see the payment of $339 has been sent to you. Right, sometimes if the sales falls in the weekend, you may not get paid until Monday. All right, you may not get paid until Monday. So they also have to take some time off. All right, so that is how. So when you said they're going to send the money to the payment option that you chose. All right, you can see that they sent this one. They said the payment of is scheduled. No action is required. Onset typically complete within 1 to 7 business days. It doesn't take 1 to 7 business days actually. It doesn't take 1 to 7 business days actually, because if you come to this place, you're going to see that I got my payment April 2, 2026. And when they sent me this, this was April 2 as well. So this was April 2 as well. They sent it April 2 and I got the payment April 2. All right. So where they are going to send the money depends on when you set your whatever you put in your payment settings. So when you come to settings and you click on payment. All right, and you click on payments, you're going to see the payment options available. So if you watch my for broader explanation of this, just go to my YouTube channel, youtube.com/@geniussolu. You are going to see a complete video on how to receive your payment on Afternic. So go to that place and you're going to see a complete video of how to receive your payment on Afternic. Complete video, all right, which is what Mr. Kingsley watched to receive his own $1,500 payment. All right, so moving forward. So I have explained domain names, domaining, which is domain investment. We talk about registrar, we talk about marketplaces. Then we'll talk about next thing is domain monetization strategies. How do we monetize our domain? So we already talk about domain flipping or domain investment, which is also number one way of monetizing our domain. Then the next thing is what? Domain parking. So domain parking, I'm just going to explain it briefly because it is not that pain again. Or it's not that pain. I used to do domain parking, but it doesn't pay like that again. So I'm going to show you a screenshot in the next slide. All right. So domain parking is that when you register your domain, instead of listing it for sale, you're going to list it for parking, and you can do that under Afternic. All right. You can do that under Afternic. So let me show you something under Afternic. So let me show you something on Afternic. So we listed ilovemymommy.com for sale the other time, right? So we listed ilovemymommy.com for sale. There's something I should show you that differentiates between parking and selling domain. Listing domain for parking and listing domain for selling. All right, so let me go through to the domain. Perfect. I believe you remember how we got here. So we listed ilovemymommy.com. We went to menu, we went to portfolio, we listed the domain, then we got here. All right. So now the difference between listing domain for selling and listing domain for parking is just what we call lander setting. If you check here, you're going to see lander settings right here. Lander settings. So when you click on this lander settings, that is where you're going to see the difference between selling domain and listing domain for selling, for the purpose of selling it, or listing it for parking. So if you scroll down, you're going to see different options. Now, if you want to sell it, you can choose custom lander. So you can see the arrow, the distance on custom lander. If you want to sell your domain. But if you want to list your domain for parking, you can see, as the name implies, parking, cash parking. You're going to select this one. You're going to select this one like this. Then you click on save. You click on save. All right, so that is how to list your domain for parking. All right, and they're going to put advertisement on it like this. So these are advertisement. All this one are the advertisement. So that when you now list this domain for parking, and somebody comes to it and they started clicking on these things. All right, they started clicking on this thing. You're going to be getting paid. All right, either maybe $0.1 per click, or $0.5 per click, or $0.05 per click. All right, many people have tried in the past. They will go to the place and be clicking it by themselves. They will be clicking by themselves. They used to catch them. And they're going to ban their account. All right, so it has to be organic and legit. All right, so that is the difference. But if it is for selling, just choose custom ladder, and your price and everything is going to be there, and the button to buy the domain name. So that is that about domain parking. Now let's go to the third one, which is naming contest, which is the third way. You can see naming contest. This is the third way you can use to make money from domain name. Naming contest. All right, so the platform whereby we use for naming contest is called Squaredep. It's called Squaredep or atom.com. Squaredep or Atom is the same thing. So they are squaredep.com. They rebranded to atom.com. So you can visit the site either through squaredep.com or through atom.com. All right, now let me show you what that naming contest looks like. All right, so this is my own Atom account. You can also create your own Atom account by going to atom.com, and you click on the profile icon. So once you go to atom.com and you click on this profile icon, they're going to show you the sign up button. So click on it and create an account. All right, so this is naming contest. And you can see right here. So this is the. So what happens in naming contest is that businesses that want to start a startup company, or a startup company that need a domain name. All right, they need a domain name, or they need a brand name. All right, they will come and say, okay, please suggest domain name for us. So this platform will now organize the contest for everybody to start suggesting names. So if they will now be presenting the names to the company. So if this company now select your own domain, you're going to get paid. And you can see right here, this one is for $200. So $200, you're going to be paid $200. All right. So if your name is selected, you're going to get paid $200. So if your name is selected, how will you know? I'm going to show you a screenshot of how you are going to know later in the video. All right, so moving forward, we have explained naming contest and all that. Now let's proceed. So talking about domain flipping, this is a domain that I registered for $4.99. all right, $4.99, and I sold it for $3.99. That was over $300 profit, all right. So this kind of email you're going to get from Afternic when you sell your domain. So this kind of email you're going to get from Afternic when you sell your domain. I bought this domain from DreamHost. So dreamhost.com is another registrar. I have mentioned Pogbon, I have mentioned Spaceship, I have mentioned Namebright. So this is dreamhost.com. As of last year, they were selling their domain for $4.99, but I think right now it is around 7 point something or so. All right, and here's another domain. I bought this one for $1.39 USD. Like I said, the amount domain are registered, the registration fee of a domain varies across registrar, and you can register your domain on any registrar. All right, so I sold the domain for $350. That's over $300 profit as well. Over $300 profit. So you can see that this business is lucrative, because what business in Nigeria can you do with $1.39? That's going to give you over 500,000 naira. What business in Nigeria can you do with that kind of money? This is around 2,000 naira now. 2,000 naira. What business in Nigeria can you do with 2,000 naira that's going to yield over 400,000 naira for you? I don't think there's any business that you can do with 2,000 naira. Even if you play betting, you cannot play betting with 2,000 naira and make 400,000 naira. All right, I make 400,000 naira. And this one has less risk, because even if you don't sell that domain quickly, it's an asset. You can hold it. All right, waiting for the right person to pay the money you are looking for. All right, so that is that. And domain developer does not even require. This is the only capital. That I spent. Maybe I can say I subscribed, and the money that I used to subscribe for data on my phone, I still use it to watch video, do some other things. All right, so it doesn't require you running out or anything. Just buy your domain, then list it for sale on the marketplace. All right, then You can do outbound or inbound. Outbound is you don't want to wait, all right? You want to pitch it to possible buyers. That's outbound. But inbound is that, okay, let the buyer come so that I can build them as much as I can. So these are the achievement possibilities in domain investment. You can see one of my colleague made $200,000 last year. $200,000 last year, but I won't lie to you, he actually worked his ass off. All right, he bought as much domain as possible. He bought thousands of domains that last year, and he invested in more domain, and he made $200,000 revenue. $200,000 as revenue last year. So the achievement possibilities in this business is unimaginable. All right, it's unimaginable. We have people that did $1 million last year, but that one is Tony. Tony is an American guy. He's an American guy. All right, so these are Nigerians. All right, and I have my own dashboard as well. All right, so the achievement possibility in this business is huge. All right, now so this is one of my income from domain packing. You can see yesterday $0.16. That's per click. You can see that the money is not that much, but there are people that this is just for one domain. Though. I packed one domain. I'm going to show you people that packed thousands of domains. So when you win a contest, you can see when you win a contest, you're going to get an email like this, and your domain is going to be credited to your payment settings. So same payment option. Either you use well, I'm going to talk about payment option later. All right. So talking about domain packing. So this is Carlin. So Carlin said after earning $7 million, over $7 million from packing over the years. So he said after earning over $7 million from domain packing over the years, it is all but dead. Like I said, domain packing is not that lucrative as it used to be. You can see they said he said last month they made $50,000 from domain packing. But these guys pack thousands of domain. No, they pack thousands of domain. You know, when you pack a domain, you're getting like $1 per day. Imagine you pack 50,000 domain. That's $50,000 per day. All right, but it's a lot of work. All right. Now, we have done number one. We have talked about domain investment, marketplaces, and all that. Now, we want to move to how to find valuable domain names. How to find number two item. How to find valuable domain names that people are willing to pay serious money for, using search volume, CPC, and synergy. Now, there's what we call search volume, CPC, and synergy. All right. Search volume is how many times people are searching. Don't forget I've mentioned earlier that I said domain names are categorized into they are made from two things: domain keyword and domain extension. All right. Domain keyword and domain extension. And then I said the best keyword, the best extension is .com. Now the best after .com now, what you should focus on is a quality keyword. That will determine how valuable your domain is. A quality keyword. Now these are the three things that determine the quality keyword, which is search volume, CPC, and synergy. Synergy is how connected your domain keyword are. Now how do we check search volume, CPC? Now that's going to take us to what? To spyful.com. Now let's go to spyful.com. I believe you are jotting down all these tools. Spyful.com. All right. So let's say we want to register a domain. Let's say local rehabilitation centers. All right. So I said the value is in the keyword. Once you know that you are dealing with .com, that's the king of all extension, then what you focus on is what is the keyword. Now you are going to write the keyword separately like this. All right, local rehabilitation centers, and you can see the country, US, because we are dealing with the largest market in the world. All right, so let's click on search. All right, so it's telling us that we have 20 monthly search volume, which is not bad. 20 monthly search volume. I saw the domain that I showed you that I bought for $1.39 and I sold for $350. The search volume was 10. So I put my benchmark for at least 10 monthly search volume. If it is higher, then the price that I'm going to put is going to be higher. All right, so my price that I'm going to put will be based on the higher the search volume and all the qualities, all the metrics, search volume, CPC, then the higher the price that I'm going to put for that domain. Imagine I have a domain that has like 2,000 search volume. I'm going to put like $1,500 or $2,000. All right. So cost per click, no cost per click. So there's no CPC. Let's check for, they give us a suggestion, drug rehab centers near me. So let's check for, or let's check for singular. I think singular form will make more sense. Now let's check for local rehabilitation center. All right, so this one have 44 monthly volume, 44 monthly search volume, 44 monthly search volume. They have 44 click. It have 44 click. 44 click. It's advertiser pay around $5 for it. So this makes sense. Now let's say we want to register this domain now. You can see that it has a good metric. We just have to combine it together to form a domain. Then we put our extension.com. All right. Cost. Then we take it to where? We take it to register. Don't forget. Let's try name right. To register it. I mean to check if it is available. At least you have to check if it is available. They're going to tell us if it's available. So you put it there. You click on search. And you can see your domain is available. Register is 7.88. 7.88. So once we are registered, where do we take it? We take it to marketplace to list it, put our price, and that's all. Alright, so moving forward. And like I said, synergy, you can see that local rehabilitation center, it forms complete meaning. It combines local rehabilitation centers. It gives us a meaning. So that's synergy. The words in that keyword, in the domain keyword, they combine together. All right. Now I said how to sell your domain through trusted marketplace. I think I've talked about that. You list it for a marketplace. You put your price. You set your lander. If you are packing, you choose cash packing. If you are selling, you choose either custom lander. All right, and you set your payout setting. So you should watch my complete video training on this YouTube channel. So go to youtube.com/@geniussolly to watch my complete training on how to receive your payment from Afternic. All right. Now, finally, I will show you how to get started the right way. And all possible questions you probably have in mind will be answered. So I'm going to talk about possible questions that will be answered and possible questions that you may have. All right. If your questions is not among the list of those questions, then you can ask more questions in my DM. All right. Now, moving forward, I said now what I have shared with you today is enough to get you started in domain investment if you take action. All right. If you take action. So if you take action, you can begin testing and even making your sales on your own. Don't forget, Mr. Kingsley wouldn't have made $1,500 if he didn't take action. All right, if he didn't take action. So, success comes from what? From action. All right. So, but here's the truth. When I first started, I made a lot of mistakes that cost me both time and money. And even now, many people reach out to me after watching my free videos. They tell me that they bought a domain but couldn't sell it, because even Mr. Kingsley eventually reached out to me. All right, eventually reached out to me for assistance. So when I check, I usually find that they have made the same mistake I made in the beginning. In fact, in one of my YouTube videos, I explained the two most common mistakes beginners make, which is buying domain name that they feel like this thing sounds nice. Instead of focusing on the metrics that you have mentioned, they focus on domain names that sounds nice to them. All right. So after that, and that's exactly why I created my domain academy, to assist people, to guide you step by step, so that you avoid this mistake and focus only on what works. All right, and focus only on what works. And the result of my academy speaks for itself. I have a student, Aisha, who made $299 from $0. So she made 2,999. That was over almost 4 million naira from absolutely nothing. All right. Now let me show you a brief screenshot of that. All right. So this is Aish. So Aisha, she registered this domain. So there was a promo on DreamHost. DreamHost.com is a registrar. So they were doing a promo which is register.io. Don't forget I said we have .io as well, different extension. So in this case now, this is the domain keyword, and this .io is the domain extension. So they were launching their .io, so they were giving out free registration. So I sent this information to my student, and she registered this domain name, and for free. You can see for free, $0, $0, and she sold it. She sold it for what? For $2,999. You can see $2,999. She said, "Congratulate me, Oga." So she showed it for what? For $2,999. That's just the beauty of domain investment. All right, just get a quality domain. All right, the where the work is what getting a quality domain. So once you get a quality domain, and that is exactly what we explain, what we teach in our TM Domain Academy, how to find quality domain, and we guide you to ensure that you always get a quality domain. And she sold the domain for what? For almost 4 million. Now that's a life changing for Aisha. This has changed her life. All right. So moving forward, I said with our domain academy, you can accelerate your learning journey with our domain dollars income generator DDIG. So inside our academy, you're going to get access to our domain dollars income generator course, DDIG, and our mentorship program. So, and inside this course and mentorship, you're going to learn number one, you're going to learn the introduction to domain flipping. We're going to break down everything about domain investment for you. Even as a 6 years old, you understand. All right, you understand the mindset and market potential of this business. You're going to learn about our geo exact match and exact match research, how to research geo and exact match domain, which are domain of high value. They're going to understand marketplaces and name server, how they connect and work together. You're going to learn how to find buyer and get their details to pitch your domain to them if you want to try outbound. You're going to get how to get paid even internationally. You're going to get if you live in Nigeria or similar regions where platform can be tricky, you know exactly how to receive your payment for your sales. You get to learn about brandable domain research, how to find brandable domain that you can sell for thousands of dollars. Then you get to learn SquareDep or Atom.com. Then branding name. You get to learn branding name. That's how to participate in naming contests for free. SquareDep requires $10, but branding name is free. So how to participate in contests. You're going to learn domain packing the right way, the secret to make it consistent domain sales, and you're going to get references and resources, additional resources from top domain investment in the industry, domain investors in the industry. Then number 9, you're going to get free access to my sales template that I've used to make over 1.5 million naira in 2 weeks. Then you're going to get access to our live sessions like this. So you're going to get access to our live session whereby we learn. Our live session is like after school, like you are doing master's degree in domain investment. So that is what our live class does. All right. So all these are easily worth over 400,000 naira in value. They are easily worth over 400k in value, but there is more. All right, there is more. If you join us 24 hours from the time you got access to this video, you get the following bonuses. All right, this bonus I'm about to reveal to you has helped many of my students make their first sale within a week. Not just any houses, we are talking about over 200,000 naira in sales. All right. So the bonus, when you join today, you are not getting you are not only going to get access to the domain dollars income generator mentorship, I'm going to also give you a bonus domain recommendation. All right. So if you are joining us within the next 24 hours from the time that you got access to this video, based on my record, then you are going to get additionally to what you are going to get a bonus domain recommendation. All right. This means I will personally research and suggest a valuable domain name for you to register, just like I did for James. All right. Just like I did for James, who later flipped this domain name for profit. Let me show you how James achieved that. All right. So this is James. So when James joined our TM Domain Academy and he went through our domain dollars income generator course and he was ready to proceed, and we tested him and we found out, okay, this guy has completed the course. All right. So I recommended this domain for him. All right, Los Angeles bankruptcy law firm, and he sold it eventually. So he sold this domain eventually for, you can see, $387. So you can see he sold the domain, March 12 for $387. All right, so from he registered the domain for how much? For 2.9. He registered the domain for $2.9. That was around 4,500 naira, and he made $387. That's over 400,000, over 400 to 500,000 naira. All right, that's over 400,000 naira profit, pure profit, over 400,000 naira, over 400,000 within a month. So that is the power of domain investment. All right, so moving forward. So that is if you are going to be joining us within the next 24 hours, you are going to be getting a bonus domain recommendation. So how much to join the Domain Academy? All right, now let me put this into perspective for you. There are people out there charging outrageous fee for domain investment. We have Gallins and Travad collecting $500 to $300, all right, from people, and these people they are not even making anything. They are scamming them. You can see this is a complaint that somebody made that over 5 years ago they collected 275,000 naira from his wife, that they're going to get his wife a domain name, that they can easily get for $11. They are collecting 275,000 naira from them. All right, and he said 5 years the domain is still there unsold. All right, that means I can be charging 1 million naira for this business. All right, so how much will the Domain Academy program cost? Now, before I tell you the price, let me be upfront. This mentorship is not cheap. All right, this mentorship is not cheap, because what you are learning here is a skill that can pay you for life. You can do this thing till you are 100 years old, as far as you can still see and operate your phone. You can do it till 100 years. Just as simple. There's nothing like running Facebook ads. It is not complex. Just small tasks, and you are done. All right. So if you are to hire me privately to coach you one-on-one, it will cost you far more than what you are charging currently. All right. And you can see right here. So this is one of my mentee. When he joined, he got the bonus domain recommendation. You can see right here. He got the bonus domain recommendation, and he registered it for what? For $2.9. Registered for $2.9, and he eventually sold this for what? For $190. He sold this for $190. All right. So revealing the price. So I said the students who commit to DDIG and the Domain Academy are already making consistent sales. They get the clarity, the support, and the shortcut that others waste months trying to figure out on their own. All right. So if you are open for handout, or you are not ready to invest in yourself, this is where we part ways. You can just pause the video from here and go and start figuring this out on your own. But if you want shortcuts and you want to enroll today or within the next 3 days, you won't be paying the regular price of 50,000 naira. You are not going to be paying 50,000 naira to join, which is the standard price to join our academy. You are going to be paying just 35,000 naira. Don't forget, if you are paying within the next 3 days, you are going to be getting what? Our bonus domain recommendation. If you are not paying within the next 3 days, no bonus domain recommendation for you, and you are not going to be paying 35,000 naira. You're going to be paying 50,000 naira. But if you are paying within the next 35 days, you're going to be paying. If you are paying within the next 3 days, rather, you're going to be paying just 35,000 naira, and you're going to be getting bonus domain recommendation like Ola, like James. All right, like Ola, like James. All right. So if you are paying within the next 3 days, you'll be getting a free expertly researched domain from, which is bonus domain recommendation, a bonus domain recommendation, and which is how I helped Austin to make 2 sales of over $1 million in 9 days. You can check our YouTube channel for the testimonial video of Austin, who made over $1 million in 9 days, which all the 2 domain names, they are recommended by me. All right. So to enroll today, make a payment of 35,000 naira to the following phone number: 8068400456. Money Point Talameji Consult Limited is the account name. Or if you want to use credit card or USSD, you can visit seller.com/2non, seller.com/2non to pay with card or USSD. When you are done, you can send your payment to my DM. If you don't have my DM, just go to talameji.com/DM, talameji.com/DM, or genius@talameji.com, genius@talameji.com. Don't send anything to this number. This is not my number. This is an account number. This is not my phone number. All right. Send your payment receipt to talameji.com/DM to reach my DM, or send email to genius@talameji.com. Don't forget, if you are paying within the next 3 days of seeing this video, pay 35,000 naira, and you are going to get a domain recommendation, a bonus domain recommendation that you can sell. All right. So here is one of my mentees who registered South Shore Oral Surgery for 4.99. on Dreamhost and sold it for what? For $2,999. $2,999 on Atom.com. Atom.com is also a marketplace, all right, and it sent me 100,000 naira appreciation money, 100,000 naira appreciation money to appreciate my effort, all right. So this is one of my new mentee. He said I should be done with the course today, sir. I've actually traveled back to school. That is why I have not finished it up. He said he searched the internet for anyone in Nigeria with so much domain knowledge, puts down into a very simple course for newbies. But all I saw was you and your videos, and he said he is blessed to be a part of this journey. All right. So if you have any question at all, just go to tylermeji.com/facts. tylermeji.com/facts. All right. That is, let me take you to tylermeji.com/facts. So if you have any question, just come to tylermeji.com/facts. Frequently asked question, facts. All right, and you're going to see. All right, so this is our facts page. So different questions have been answered here. So what is included in the TM Domain Academy? You get your answer. How long does it take? You can see this one right here. How long does it take to complete the course? Just click on the arrow. You're going to get the answer. So how long it takes depends on how many hours you dedicate to it, studying each day or week. But 80% of our students finish the course even within a day. All right, within a day. So do I need the laptop for this? The answer, click on the arrow. No, the business can be done effectively with your smartphone. So all possible questions have been answered right. Just come to tylermeji.com/facts to get your answer. All right. So moving forward. All right. So this is a domain registered by 2.88. So this is a recommended domain for one of my mentee, Anthony. So Anthony registered this domain for 2.88, which is around 4.5, and he sold it inbound. He registered, he listed no effort, no extra effort, and he sold it for $150. And he said he wants to get a laptop so he can be able to work very well. So he went to get a laptop for 150k. All right, so 150k. So like I said, if you are paying today or within the next 3 days, you can pay that 5,000 naira to the following account. You can pay that 5,000 naira to 80 68 400 456. All right, that was money point. Then the account number, the account name is what? TheMaskedFreelancer Consult. TheMaskedFreelancer Consult Ltd. All right, or you can pay to seller.com/tunon. All right, seller.com/tunon. So you can screenshot that so you don't forget. So if you are paying within now and the next 3 days, you can pay the 5,000 naira, and you're going to get a bonus domain recommendation. You can register and you're going to get a guide on how to register it for as low as 4,500 naira. All right. So this is a business that I started to change my life, but along the way, all right, God's doing, we are ending up changing other people's life too. So, and that is the real win. So once you are done making your payments, make your payments now. So once you are done making your payments, send it to my DM so that we can get started, and perhaps you can be our next success story.